Hola, I'm Alicia Navarrete, and this is your Week in Yucatan Today, presented by Yucatan Today and La Jornada Maya. Every week, we bring you Yucatan's local news in under 10 minutes. Only local news, featuring news you can use and a quick summary of recent events. This week, one worker killed and another injured after a roof collapse in downtown Merida. Maya community leaders speak out against predatory real estate development throughout the state. A rescued ocelot is recovering at the Animaya Zoo after being hit by a car on the Sisal Highway. A 2,000-year-old ceremonial platform was discovered in Uku. Merida residents remain divided over the intervention of historic monuments following the Women's Day March. Let's get started. A restoration project turned fatal this week in Mérida, just steps from the Universidad de las Artes de Yucatán, or UNAY, in Centro. Two workers were on the roof of a 1930s-era building when the structure gave way. One worker died instantly, while his seriously injured colleague was rushed to the hospital. Neighbors noted that years of humidity and neglect had compromised the integrity of the roof before the remodeling work even began. This is a somber reminder for property owners in Mexico of the need for professional structural assessments, especially on vintage estates. On Thursday, leaders from several Maya communities from all over Yucatan issued a searing critique of the state's real estate boom. They warned that coastal villages are being boxed in by luxury developments, and local cenotes are being privatized without benefiting the original inhabitants, adding that some of the leaders who have fought for land restitution have died under suspicious circumstances. Community leaders stated they aren't against progress, but they demand that it benefits the original inhabitants first. They are pleading for potential land buyers to carefully consider their own impact on what they describe as predatory development. These leaders have called for a protest march on Saturday, March 21st at 3 p.m., traveling from Paseo de Montejo to the Plaza Grande in Mérida. A successful rescue effort saved an ocelot's life after it was struck by a vehicle on the Sisal-Junukma highway. Private veterinary services in Junukma provided life-saving first aid to the wild feline before the case was handed over to state and federal environmental agencies. The ocelot is now being cared for and monitored at the Animaya Zoo in Mérida, where it remains under professional observation. Drivers are urged to extreme caution on the road, as Yucatan's unique wildlife is still a frequent sight. The National Institute of Anthropology and History, or INAH, has revealed a significant archaeological find in Yaxche de Peón, in the municipality of Uku, just west of Mérida. The site dates back over 2,000 years to the pre-classic period. The discovery is a massive rectangular platform that experts believe was used for community decision-making and religious ceremonies. Ritual offerings discovered in the platform include a pumpkin-shaped vessel and deer bones, symbols of both agricultural fertility and personal well-being. A public debate has ignited following the massive International Women's Day March on Sunday, March 8th, as several of Mérida's most iconic landmarks, including the Monumento a la Patria, were intervened with graffiti. Feminist collectives and many social specialists argue that these actions are iconoclasm, not simple vandalism, and contend that when the state fails to protect women's lives, the sacredness of stone monuments is lost. On the other side of the argument, the damage is viewed as a senseless destruction of the city's identity, which also distracts from the cause and creates a financial burden on taxpayers for restoration. Local authorities have already begun initial cleaning efforts. However, because many of these are protected historical structures, the National Institute of Anthropology and History must first determine the specific technical procedures for restoration to avoid further damaging the stone. Now let's take a look at some fun stuff happening in the following days. Celebrate the soulful sounds of Yucatan on March 20th. Join the traditional Jornada del Día del Trovador starting at 7 p.m. This musical procession begins at the Palacio de la Música and winds through the streets of Mérida toward the Museum of Yucatecan Song. Featuring the Queen of Troubadours and a talented local contingent, it's a romantic, rhythmic tribute to the heart of Mexico's musical heritage. Explore the legends of Yucatan through the eyes of a master. From now until May, the Olimpo Cultural Center in Merida presents Crónicas del Mayab, featuring 22 previously unseen engravings by local artist Manuel Lizama. The display is inspired by the haunting legend of Lashtabay, the beautiful temptress who lured men into her arms, only to transform into a thorny ceiba tree. These works capture the traditional customs and the unique atmosphere of Mexico's southeastern soul. Admission is free, and you can visit Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., or Sunday until 6 p.m. There are only a few weeks left to take part in the Festival Renacer de la Costa 2026. Designed to support fishing communities during the off-season, this event hits Telchac Puerto, El Cuyo, and San Crisanto this weekend, and Chuburná Puerto, Chavijao, and San Felipe next week. Activities include beach cleanups, local markets, live music, and sports tournaments. So head to the beach for a fun weekend that also supports local families. Another must for your stay in Yucatan is the magic of the Maya spring equinox on March 21st. Beyond the famous descent of Kukulkan at Chichen Itza at midday, you can witness sunrise phenomena at Sibichaltún, north of Merida, and Oxquintoc, near Maxcanu. Find helpful tips in the March issue of Yucatan Today and on our website. And don't miss out on your chance to watch these ancient structures perfectly align with the cosmos. We're only a week away from the ultimate culinary experience, the Yucatán Food Fest by Club Sibarita. This premier event in Mérida brings together top chefs, mixologists, and foodies for a celebration of flavor. Don't miss the Art of Fine Dining, a pairing dinner on March 19, or the foodie favorite macro tasting at Altozano, the Taste the Best event on March 20th. Once again, this is an event that everyone at Yucatan Today looks forward to all year. A fun night where food, drink, and live DJs are just part of the experience. Catch us there! Tickets are still available through the link in this episode's description, and use the promo code YTSibarita for 33% off. Pay only 1,000 pesos for your 1,500 peso ticket. Don't miss out on this delicious experience. Find direct links to more details on these events in this episode's description, and check out yucatantoday.com for more activities happening in our state. Every Friday, La Jornada Maya publishes a feature on one of the many native species that share the Yucatan Peninsula with us. This week, meet a silent superhero of the Yucatan bioeconomy, the black soldier fly. This sleek, wasp-like insect is a master recycler, turning organic waste into high-quality fertilizer and protein with incredible speed. As an adult, it doesn't even have a mouth. It doesn't bite, sting, or spread disease. Its entire 5 to 9 day life is focused solely on reproduction and sustained on water alone. The real magic happens in the larval stage. These voracious eaters devour food scraps and manure so efficiently they can reduce waste volume by 50%. By breaking down organic matter quickly, they prevent greenhouse gas emissions and eliminate foul odors. In our warm climate, black soldier flies thrive. A single female lays up to 1,000 eggs, which hatch into larvae rich in protein and healthy fats, making them a sustainable food source for local poultry and fish. From waste management to organic fertilizer, this fly is a tiny powerhouse helping to protect the Maya environment. Read more about the black soldier fly by visiting lajornadamaya.mx. You'll find a link in this episode's description. That's your week in Yucatan today. We welcome your feedback, questions, and ideas. Get in touch with us at editor@yucatantoday.com. Your Week in Yucatan Today is jointly produced by Yucatan Today and La Jornada Maya. Make sure to leave a rating, subscribe, and recommend our podcast to help us bring you a summary of Yucatan's local news in English. Yucatan Today is your Yucatan companion. Find our travel, culture, and food content at yucatantoday.com. La Jornada Maya is a print and digital newspaper with the most relevant information from the Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico, and the world. I'm your host, Alicia Navarrete. Thank you for listening.